Same specs, two different rods. Why do you need them and what's the difference? Hey y'all, it's Alex with ALX Rods, and I want to talk about two rods that seem really similar, but they're very different in our ENOX series. So, like you know, our ENOX series rods are focused on, they're very feel, technique focused rods, and we have two models that I get asked a lot about. What's the difference in these two rods? One is the BMJ and the other is the LSB. They have the exact same specs on them. They're both medium heavy pluses. They have the same weight ranges, but they have a 7'2" and a 7'5" length. The LSB is the longer at 7'5". The BMJ, I guess the best way to say this is really the difference in length really changes how you can use these rods. The LSB does end up being a little faster in the tip just because of that extra length. It also has a little bit longer handle. What makes that, or what that does for us, is it makes the LSB more of an open water type rod, and that's how we see it used most often. We've got a lot of our customers who use the LSB for a variety of, again, more open water fishing applications, things like hair jigs, light swim baits. They'll still throw jigs, but they're throwing a jig out, you know, they're out in 60 feet of water, throwing all the way up on a point, dragging that jig all the way back out. The BMJ sees a lot of closer work. Again, you can use it for open water as well. It's not that it's not an open water rod, but you see a lot more pitching, you know, pitching up against dock pilings, pitching to cover. You see a lot more things. You see some things more like, you know, a frog or a mid-sized topwater. You'll see things a little bit more like that. On the LSB, you would see somebody use it for a swim jig, but they're probably going to be running a bank, as opposed to the BMJ. It's a little bit shorter, so they're going to be pitching a swim jig up around a dock and working it back out. So that's really where we see the main two difference in these rods. That's why we developed both of the rods separately, is they truly do have completely different applications. Where the length even comes in and helps you even more, the longer rod will give you a longer cast, hence having it for open water applications. The shorter rod is going to be easier to pitch or underhand, you know, underhand cast, like more of a skip type motion or trying to throw up underneath cover and around objects. The longer rod is going to give a bigger hook set, something to take up more line. A longer rod moves more line, so when you need to set a hook way down the bank and you set that hook, that longer rod is going to be more effective at that. The shorter rod is going to be more effective at a hook set, trying to get away when you're up around a dock. You're not going to have to be swinging and hanging up into stuff and hitting stuff with your rod. So that's really the two primary differences between the BMJ and the LSB, and that's where we see the difference in use for them for our customers. Have any questions, you need anything, give us a shout, give us a call. We're always here and happy to help you answer all of your rod questions at ALX Rods.